Hello, this is Mike from Dimensional Walking, and today I am going to talk about the famous drone flop, I guess we'll call it. The drone activity that was in the Northeast and the East. And are there any ongoing type updates? And what is then the latest on the UFO speculation? So here we go. So since mid-November 2024, the northeastern part of the United States, particularly New Jersey, has been gripped in this wave of mysterious drone sightings that have sparked, of course, this crazy speculation, curiosity, concern that these unidentified objects initially reported over residential areas and sensitive areas, like there's an arsenal there, and there's, of course, the president, Donald Trump's Bedminster Golf Course there. So that they have, of course, fueled all these debates about the origins, the purpose of whether they could be linked to unidentified UFO type things. So as early as 2025, the situation remained partially unresolved, with federal and state authorities providing some answers, leaving room for lingering questions and extraterrestrial theories. Okay, so the drone activity began in about November 18th, 2024, when the residents of New Jersey reported seeing large illuminated objects in the night sky, often described as commercial grade drones up to 6 feet in diameter. The sightings quickly spread, of course, to New York, um, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut, and other northeastern states, with reports of drones hovering over civilian neighborhoods, military bases, and critical infrastructure. Okay. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, or known as the FBI, re- received over 5,000 tips through the dedicated, they had a hotline they set up. But after it was analyzed, only about 100 of them were deemed worthy of further investigation. Of course, the reality is if they were all deemed worthy, they would never have enough people to actually investigate all this. So I guess they just went ahead and took the ones that looked the craziest and decided to go ahead and investigate those, would be my guess. The FBI, as I do. The Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, responded by issuing a temporary flight restrictions over 22 New Jersey cities, including Bedminster and the Arsenal. I think that's Picatinny Arsenal, until, I guess, January 17, 2025. By December 2024, the phenomenon had escalated, with sightings reporting at military installations like Wright-Patterson, of course, which is in Ohio, and the Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base in Fort Worth. The objects were noted to have this unusual behavior, such as flying low, displaying bright flashing lights, and in some cases, apparently disappearing and going dark when approached. These characteristics, combined with the proximity to sensitive sites, prompted lawmakers like New Jersey Senators Andy Kim and Representative Chris Smith to demand transparency from the federal agencies. Okay, public frustration grew as initial responses from the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and the Pentagon lacked definitive answers. So, in late January 2025, White House Press Secretary Carolyn Levitt announced that the mystery had been largely resolved. Wow. Stating that the drones were authorized to be flown the by the FAA for research and various other reasons, including commercial, hobbyist, and law enforcement activity. Now, I'm just going to stop there for a minute. Yeah, I probably agree with a portion of that. Okay. Um, you know, come on. We've heard this one before, right? Many times. The Pentagon and the Department of Homeland Security echoed this, of course, asserting that many of the sightings were misidentified manned aircraft, helicopters, and celestial objects like Venus, and uh, and of course the exacerbated by the public confirmation bias and mass hysteria. Okay, now we've heard that word mass hysteria if you follow the UFO world or the history of the UFOs. That was one thing that always popped up was this term mass hysteria. So we're going to keep on using that, I guess. Experts, including Jamie Jacobs, suggested incidents stemmed from careless observer operators of drones rather than a mischievous intent, noting that the drone flyovers were common and typically benign. Typically benign. Okay. Yes. And there is more drones, so I guess we're going to have more UFOs. And again, the definitions unidentified flying object. The FAA in September 2023 rule changed, allowing drones to fly at night with lights for collision avoidance, was cited as a contributing factor to the increased visibility of drones. Okay, so they changed the rules in September 2023. So the expectation, even though it didn't seem to happen right away, it did happen later on, um, quite a bit later on, that suddenly we have this increase of drone activity. Okay. So authorities also clarified that no evidence suggested foreign involvement, debunking theories of the Iranians and the Chinese espionage. Some incidents, such as reported drones, were carrying radioactive material. Now, this one I never heard about over this NASA cancer center, but they claim that this was resolved as a non-threatening and deemed it was depleted uranium and it was harmless. Not too sure why they were flying that stuff around on drones. It's a little weird. Despite these explanations, some cases remain unresolved, particularly those over military bases like Langley Air Force Base and the Plant 42. I'm not too sure. I can't remember what Plant 42 was. The testimony from Rear Admiral Paul Speedio before the House Oversight Committee in April of 2025 confirmed the ongoing UFO incursions at these sites. So, as of late, April 2025, right? That was just a few weeks ago, right? There's still there's still some concern because apparently the UAPs are still flying over these very sensitive sites. So the Pentagon's, of course, the AARO, the All Domain Anonymity Resolution Office, um, reported 757 UAPs between January 2023 and June 2024, with 21 deemed particular curious, though no extraterrestrial evidence was found. Oh, really? Oh, really? The lack of clear answers early in the crisis fueled rampant UFO speculation, which it would have amplified by social media and public figures. Posts on X described the objects as having no heat signature and exhibiting behaviors inconsistent with conventional drones, such as vanishing or forming triangular formations. Uh, there was of course, there's the former Pentagon official, Lou Zondo, suggested that the phenomenon was far more complex, which I do agree with Lou, than the typical drone activity, hinting it is possible that non uh, human intelligence, aliens as I like to call them more, were involved. One X user shared a close up of the image of an alleged UFO from New Jersey or a drone, whatever it was, claiming it was neither a drone or a plane. Now, I have not seen that. I've heard other people tell me the same thing. I try to look for that particular video or particular picture on the internet. I really never found it. So if anybody out there has actually seen that particular picture of this thing that crashed that supposedly doesn't look like a drone, the debris does not look like a drone nor an airplane, I'd love to see that. You can send that to me or show it to me or whatever you want. So conspiracy theories range from alien reconnaissance to government cover-ups, with some residents speculating that drones were conducting a consensus or searching for nuclear material. Yeah, I heard that too. Nuclear material was apparently dropped or something, but who knows? The historical context of the New Jersey UFO lore included, of course, New Jersey, like I say, is always, and I've said in the past, has always kind of been a center of some kind of interesting UFO stuff going on. So the lore also included, of course, the 1938 War of the Worlds panic. That, of course, was fueled by these narratives, all kinds of narratives, radio programs, etc. So the National UFO Reporting Center noted 65 reports of drone-like objects in early 2025. So early 2025, they got 65 of them contributing to a database of 128,000 UAP sightings since 1930. And it's, that's great. I don't know if that's just the United States, the world, whatever, but it's probably in the millions. Reality is in the millions. Skeptics, including astronomer Thomas Bannat, argue that many of the sightings are misinterpretations of just mundane phenomena such as uh, lenticular clouds or satellites. Science writer Mick West suggested the UAP videos show optical effects of cameras creating triangular shapes from out of focused cameras, lights, etc. Nevertheless, AARO inability to fully explain certain cases, uh, coupled with congressional calls for transparency, is keep the UFO speculation alive. And I agree. I think, obviously, my opinion is there is a little bit of a UFO alien type mix with these sightings. There's no doubt about it. The current status and future outlook. Okay, let's talk about that. As of May 2025, which we're in May now, drone sightings have decreased in frequency. Yes, I have to agree because I haven't been getting that many reports. But the sporadic reports persist, particularly near military installations. Now, that's where the main concern is, I think. I have a site on the beach in New Jersey that I have up. I've done various videos. You can check. It's a beach site. It's really good. Almost every second or third night, it's just loaded with something, UFOs or whatever. They're flying crazy. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. It's really great. And then other nights, because of the cloud cover, it's nothing. But it's a beach site, and you can see the waves coming. It's very cool, and I've seen some really great stuff there. Um, but it has continued with the lights, and it has continued with, and some of it is really spectacular. Some of it isn't. Like I've said, that sometimes whatever's in the sky just falls into, it seems to fall into the water, which is really cool. Anyways, the FAA and the FBI continue to monitor the situation, urging the public to avoid dangerous actions like using lasers or firearms against the suspected drones. While most incidents have been attributed to authorized or misidentified objects, the unresolved case and advanced behavior reported by credible witnesses, such as air traffic controllers and military personnel, suggests that not all questions have been answered. No doubt they haven't been. The North the Northeast drone flop has highlighted gaps in the USA airspace monitoring, prompting calls to enhance drone tracking technology. It has also reunited the interest in UAP research with organizations like the National UFO Reporting Center. While these sightings are fully explained as human technology remains a mystery, they underscore the public's fascination with the unknown and the enduring allure of the UFO speculation. Yes, yes, it is. UFOs are definitely out there. They're in the mix. They're with the drones. I have no doubt about it. But definitely, this is not over yet. I'm sure it's going to continue. And I guess my concern is all this stuff over the military bases. They don't seem to have a handle on it at all. I would actually suspect that they could go up there and shoot them down. And they should. They should shoot them down if they're over military or sensitive government sites. Anyways, we'll see ya. Take it easy. Bye bye.